Hey everyone, racing driver and go-karter Dylan Christie here reviewing my second race at Sebring International Raceway. For those who saw or haven't seen it, this race is actually sort of a part 2 to the race I did earlier in my previous video. The scca events have two finals. The first one, my first video, was race 1 and this is race 2. You could say that the last race was a lot more clean than this one, but I'd go and check it out because it has just as awesome, if not more awesome of a finish, so I'd go and check that out if you haven't already. A general theme of this race is everyone seemed to want to be in the lead, whether it's to be first going into the lap cars or just to maybe have a chance to break away. And it just caused a lot of intense battling, which allowed more cars to catch up and more cars to get in the mix. So you'll see 4 different cars take the lead in this race, and there are a whole bunch more in the big pack that we were racing in. No spoilers, but the race was quite incredible. Approaching the start, the outside road didn't have the best run, and I end up coming out in third, but I can over-under and get myself back up into second. I opted to take the lead very early on in lap 1 and get myself away from any potential trouble. After I take first, I go defensive when I probably don't even need to because I know the driver in first was quick, so by going defensive the pack sort of clumps back together and I managed to get the original leader down to third. I do this to create battling behind me to try and get some space away from the other cars and avoid battling for as long as I can. A few laps later, we end up settling back in. I sit in second for a bit. Just staying in the top pack and avoiding trouble is important. You don't need to have the lead 100% of the time. You really only need the lead when you cross the line. Over the course of the next few laps, a lot of battling goes on, a lot of passing back and forth. Everyone just trying to take the lead as much as they can. In an ideal race, everyone just works together and tries to pull away from the field, but that can't always be the case. Here's when I'd say the race got most interesting for me. I go for a pass around the outside to try and get in a first, to try and be in first for the lap cars approaching. And I overcooked the turn. I hit dust. There was some dust there too, but my fault. I'm still learning. I still have tons to learn, and I made sure to remember to keep my head up. Ironically, fourth was actually a good spot to be in approaching the lap cars. Since you're out there with other classes of cars at the scca races, you're forced to use caution getting by them, and the 3 other cars that I was battling with actually got caught up by some Formula V's battling, and it allowed me to catch back up and be back in the mix. I definitely owe some luck to getting back in the fight for the lead. After making sure nothing was broken on the car, I cautiously made my way back up. I'd gain a position, wait a few laps, make sure it's a clean pass, and then get another position. There's a pretty huge draft that comes with these cars, so if you want to pass for the lead, if you're patient and cautious, you can do so. You can see the draft as I sort of go through a new experience of passing around the outside here, which is something you never do in go-karts, but that's something I learned here in these cars, and it's pretty cool, honestly. As long as you're safe, cautious, and respectful to your other competitors, I found there's nothing wrong with holding the outside a bit. I actually hold on to the lead for a few laps. I end up going first through the lap cars, and I gained a bit of a gap. I think something actually happened behind me, but because of the draft, we end up clumping back up again. I'd actually like to give a lot of credit to my teammate Max. He's in the yellow car that just went for the leader on the outside. He's new to these cars too, and he ran a phenomenal race. He also showed great sportsmanship. Approaching the end of the race, with about 2 laps to go, we hit a bit of bad luck and we end up getting a bit freight trained. We end up sliding back out in 5th. No worries, we've had great luck so far and we're happy to still be in the fight for the lead, so I do the best I can to make up the spots in the 2 laps. I'll go quiet for the last lap and a half of the race so you guys can see how it played out. And I want to say one last thank you to Styler, Team Pelfrey, my parents, and everyone else who made this weekend possible, and I look forward to an awesome season. I really enjoyed making this, compiling all the parts of Race 2 and showing you guys why I love F1600 so much and why I love racing. I feel like this video turned out the best out of all of them, and I hope they get better each time. I also really hope people can get to see this and see these videos, so I'm working on some stuff and trying the best I can to get my videos across. So it really means a lot when you guys subscribe and watch these videos. I can't wait to make more. I'd also like to congratulate Matt Clark on his win, and thank scca for hosting a great race. Reach out to me through here on my Instagram if you guys have any questions. Remember, I'm still doing the karting tutorials, so if you have any good video, send that in to me and I can review it. One last massive thanks to Team Pelfrey for the awesome help over the course of the weekend, and I can't wait for the season to come. I can't wait for even more incredible help from them. I've learned more in these past two races than I have anywhere else. And one last time, remember to like and subscribe.